Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about some duty or tactical war belt style stuff today, because not all gear is made the same. That especially rings true when it's gear you're going to be wearing for 10 plus hours a day, days on end, years on end. You're going to be in that stuff wearing it for a very long time. And there is gear out there that's actually kind of been proven at this point to be a little bit injurious, or at least it doesn't stave off injuries the way your quality gear should. And pretty much everybody from the Department of Defense to neurological institutes have done studies on duty, battle belts, war style belts, and all that stuff to kind of show what you should have, what you shouldn't have, or what is the best design to stave off injury. And pretty much all of those studies showed the thicker, wider, and heavier that gear or belt was, the more injury was likely to happen. But today we have a ton of options, and one of those is going to be from a very well-known company, and that is going to be the duty line of gear from Hsgi. And then their CompTac holsters, that's their sister company, but more on that holster in a little bit. But since we have options like these from Hsgi, and it's not the days of the LBE gear from the Army or the Sam Browne belts with those big, thick 2¼ or 2½ inch wide belts, we've got options. And options are good because options provide you the opportunity to get gear that suits you, fits you, and may have to look a certain way. Because in the modern era, especially if you're in security or law enforcement work, you need to keep a general appearance, or it needs to pass the command staff sniff test, as I like to call it. And for that very reason, I have been using this Hsgi stuff, testing it out to see how I'm gonna like it, because it's a far different design than their older stuff. And I welcome that design because I've trusted Hsgi gear for well over a decade, and I wanted to be able to wear this stuff for my daily duties. Now, if you don't know who Hsgi is, they are well known in the military, special operations, law enforcement, security work. They make a ton of really good gear that has been tested and tried around the world, well combat proven, some of the most respected gear out there. It's made in the USA and it carries a lifetime warranty. All of these are big positives if you haven't figured that out yet. But chances are, if you know anyone that has done anything with those career fields, they're gonna know and probably trust the Hsgi brand. This one specifically is my Hsgi test belt, my Hsgi taco duty pouches, and that new CompTac level 3 holster. Now that holster is going to get its own review, and I will shortly be moving this gear over to my daily carry rig because I want to carry this at work, like I said. But for the purposes of this video, this one has been the test rig that I have been wearing over the past month or so to get a feel for this gear and test it out on the range. Let's take a good up close look at these so you can see the difference between these standard, well-known Hsgi tacos and these new kind of more toned down looking, command staff friendly looking version, the Hsgi duty tacos. We'll talk about the quality of these things, how they go on the belt, the different ways you can put them on the belt, adjust them, the overall comfort and quality of the system, so you guys have a really good idea. If you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button, give the video a like if I deserve it at any point during the video, and of course leave a comment. What is your preferred carry gear right now if you do security, law enforcement, military, whatever, and would you think about upgrading or trying to get your department to upgrade to Hsgi duty gear? All right, let's first compare what these pouches look like. So these are the new Hsgi tacos. Okay, this is the duty gear line. You can see very slick, very clean design, and this is what most of us probably have to look like out on the street right here. But I want to compare these quickly to the original tacos. I'll bring in one of my other belts and you'll see, you know, that original taco design right there. The shock cords on the outside, you get the Molle out there. Love these. I've had these for years. That's that ATAX camo. Old stuff, but I have carried these for so long. And these are all the original ones that I bought like well over, probably like 8, 9 years ago, maybe even 10 at this point, right when this color first came out. But that is a side-by-side comparison right there of the difference in the look between these two styles of belts. Obviously, you can tell one is more military related and this one is more law enforcement related. So that is just a quick comparison for you out there. So let's start with these magazine carriers right here. So as you can see, very same design. These are standard Glock mags with factor base plates on them, but you can see Glock 17 style mag. If you don't account for that base plate, you can kind of see how tall they would be, how far they would stick out there. Give you a really good idea. And then obviously it's that same design where it's got that internal polymer, but all of that shock cord has been moved to the inside of that. So that's what gives it that very clean overall look. You're going to get all of the benefits of the original Hsgi, but you're not going to have that ultra kind of tactical look. And then obviously anytime you're using these, when you reinsert a mag that's loaded, you want to go round first, just like that, and then go in. That way you don't strip a round off. So You didn't know that when you're putting a mag in here, you don't want to go backwards like this because you could push around halfway out or get it stuck in there. Always round first, then go in like that. Slick, very good design. And you can see on the bottom, this is your tension adjustment right here. Same standard kind of shock cord design out there that most of you are used to if you know the Hsgi brand. If you don't, well, now you do. Another thing that's cool about that shock cord style design that's hidden in there like that is it's going to protect it. So you can see it in there on the side, it's not on the outside. So say you're jumping walls like you very well could be if you're wearing this for a duty belt. The block especially is going to kind of, you know, catch things and stuff. It won't do that. It'll just glide across this out here. So all the pouches specifically like this, there's that laser cut Molle on the outside you can see there, so you can clip things onto it very quickly. We'll talk about the overall quality of them here in a minute, but let's talk about the attachment styles here. So depending on the thickness of the belt that you go with here, this is the 1 3/4. You've got a couple different ways. You can go straight Molle, go all the way through, and then the external Molle, lock onto that if you want. But they send it with these screws also, so you can attach it to a standard kind of belt slide style design. You can see mine are a little bit taller. You've also got the ability to bypass that first piece of Molle. Say you want the pouches riding a little higher so they're not pressing into your legs. You can ride it like that. You can run it further down if you want. Completely up to you, and will be, you know, somewhat dependent on if you go with the thicker, say 2-inch style of belt, but you have options. And these are those easy clips that Hsgi has right there where you just pass them through, sleeve over that little round grommet right there, and you're going to be good to go. A lot easier than the original Molle style clips out there. All right, so a little bit more about the adjustment. If you've never used these, you just pull the shock cord, press this button on here, pull it tight, and it locks itself in there. And you set the tension to your desired liking. What I like to do is grab this and then kind of bypass the extra shock cord back up through the Molle so it's kind of clean there. You can shove it up there pretty good, and then you can pull it out really easy. Just gives it a little bit cleaner look, and it's just something to think about if you want that ultra slick kind of look. So talking about the handcuff pouch specifically, and they have like radio pouches and everything else, but specifically the handcuff pouches. So you can buy them in a single or a double. It is completely up to you. You can see that these are these singles right here, and you can run them with the snap or without. It's completely up to you. You can see I have these on there. They are adjustable on the inside with that hook and loop, that Velcro. That way, if you have larger cuffs or smaller cuffs, you can fit these pouches to the size you're looking for. But there is plenty of tension on there. Say you want to run without that, you're going to have plenty of grip in there, and you can tighten these up as well. So you don't have to run that snap over the top. That may be a policy for you, but you can run it without it and be just fine. They're going to clip on the exact same way with that Molle backer. They're still going to have that screw in there, so you get to determine how you want to attach these to your belt. All right, now talking about this belt right here. So this is actually their 1 3/4 Molle rigger belt system here. And I went with this one because it's about a medium stiffness on the belt. And generally I'm running, even on this one, it's just off right now. I run a leg strap, so I'm not worried about the holster lifting up. So I don't need a super stiff belt. And this is about, like I said, like medium stiff. You're not gonna bend this at all, but it's a very, very quick and easy belt. So obviously it's the Cobra buckle design right here. So that stuff is very easy to use. Love Cobra buckles, just the way to go. They're gonna take all the weight and punishment you can give them, and they are probably never gonna fail. When it comes to that belt, you're gonna get the standard inner belt like this. It will have the Molle Velcro on this side. Very common, these work for great low profile EDC belts as well. And then on the inside, you have the female Velcro, so you can lock this thing in. That way you don't have to use keepers, or you can use keepers in conjunction with that and just have a very secure belt around your waistline. So now that you know the basics on all that stuff, let's talk about the overall quality of the product and the stitching here. So stitching is extremely important. So we have that laser cut Molle in here. We have that good material in here. I will annotate it right here so you know what material it is and what type of stitching they're using. But you can see in here all of these areas, all of the stitching that's in here, all the box, I think that's called box stitching like that. That goes over all of the seams and everything like that. Everything is collapsed in on itself, very nicely done on all of the edges right here. It's about as clean as you can make a holster of this style without being some kind of injection molded polymer. All of the areas that need to be reinforced are reinforced very well across the backside, the front, on the bottoms where the corners are, down the middle of this to split the two right there. And they've got these in singles, doubles, and I think even triples as well. The overall quality of the Hsgi stuff, you're just not gonna find anything any better. They've been making this gear like this for a long time, and they've got a lot of government contracts, and they do a lot of really good stuff. So same thing with the handcuff pouches here. You're gonna see all the edges are reinforced with that dual thick material. All that stitching where it needs to be doubled up is doubled up. You'll get a hanger like that every once in a while. You just clip it off. Don't try to melt it if you don't know what you're doing. But you've got all of the webbing. It's gonna be that mil-spec webbing in there that many of you may be familiar with. And again, everywhere it's doubled over itself, it's got that additional stitching, box stitching, all that good stuff that's going on there. Underbelt here, you've got 3 lines of stitching, and all the ends are boxed off as well. Same thing on the inner belt. You can see the different levels of stitch lines in there. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's 8 total lines of stitching through there because it's double thick and then has the Velcro on it as well. The overall quality of everything I've ever tested from Hsgi has just been top notch. Hands down, just great stuff. So if you check out some of my older videos on the battle belts, the plate carriers, all that, you're gonna see a lot of Hsgi stuff sprinkled in there because it's hands down some of the best gear you can buy. USA made, lifetime warranty, and I've trusted my life to this stuff for at least 15 years. All right, so let's talk about the positives here and why you may want to move into the modern era with some Hsgi duty style gear. There have been massive advancements in equipment over the past 10, 15 years, especially from the days of snap over clips or clip-in buckles or something over your mag carriers. These advancements just make the gear just as stable on your belt line, but much faster to actually use out there in the world. Now, if you're one of those dudes that's still haloing out of planes or jumping or something like that, you're gonna need some kind of coverage over that. But for us guys out there, hitting the streets, doing some security, law enforcement, stuff like that, open top mag carriers like these that give that awesome retention that is adjustable to your preferred style is a great advancement. So it not only looks the part now, we have the Hsgi design in there, that shock cord tension design. It's stable, it's good, it's proven around the world, but we get something that looks the part for us people out there that wear a uniform day to day. The command staff can look at this and be happy. You can look at this and be happy and still have that modernized, high quality USA made gear. For me, when it comes to the Hsgi brand, it's really just all positive. So I'm highly biased towards that because I love that gear. I've spent a ton of money on the Hsgi gear, whether it's the traditional tacos or now the new duty stuff, which I'll be outfitting my own personal belts with for at work, and my own personal kind of, you know, slick style carrier that's gonna have some of those pouches on there as well, as far as the AR mags and then the accessory pouches. So I like this stuff, so take that into account. But if you are looking to modernize your security, law enforcement duty belt or something like that, and still be able to appease that command staff look, or you're looking to transition your department into that next generation of gear that's gonna last years, give that look, but give the officers what they need out there on the street, which is the best gear possible and the fastest gear to access possible. I don't think you should pass these Hsgi duties by. At least get them out for testing, check them out, have your quartermaster order it, order a couple of things yourself to see if they're gonna work for you and would look the part for you. But it's just all positives for me, and that's pretty much the direction I am going. Now, as far as that CompTac holster right there, I'm digging it. I want a couple more range trips to get more footage for you guys on it. And anytime you change a holster, you need to spend some good love and enjoying time with it. So you make sure that your draw stroke is good. And I want to make the best video possible for you. So that will be coming out in a few weeks. But if you were interested in any of that stuff you saw here today, I will leave links over at my website because we can't leave them directly here on YouTube. So you can check out that first link in the description, and I'll pin it in the comments. We'll go to tacticalconsiderations.com. You can sign up for my newsletter. I don't spam you. I send it out like maybe once every month, once every 2 weeks, something like that, because that's going to have all the stuff there that I've used and done because we can't post it here. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you feel I've earned it, subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment down below. Are you looking to modernize your gear into something like this? You're going to stick with the old leather stuff. Either way, I'm just curious to see what everybody out there is carrying because it changes so often. You guys get on the range and have some fun. Remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I will see you all on the next one.